This is the context. This is the setting around what's happening here. And it is now Friday, which is the day of preparation. And this is usually a day that's understood as a day to prepare for the Sabbath. But as we read in the Gospel of John, it was also preparation for the Passover. And so we have here a double preparation as Jesus is preparing to both rest and to fulfill this Passover motif that we see in the Old Testament. This substance, the source of this great tradition that has acted as a marker to remind Israel that the Lord is forgiving, right? That the Lord is patient, that he saves, has now come in the person of Jesus, the eternal Son of God, who is now preparing to lay down his life for his bride. And so we can see here the genius of God in the unfolding of redemptive history. I love this. I had Tony Ray from Hazakim come on my podcast when I was doing the podcast, and we did an episode called Out of the Shadows, where we were going through the Old Testament and showing how Jesus was the fulfillment of all these traditions. And this is what he said. I think it's dope to see this, how the unfolding of redemptive history just falls in such a perfect way. This is what he said. He said, quote, "Jesus doesn't just fulfill these traditions in principle or in theory. The spring feast, the first four, he fulfilled on the literal day, and he fulfilled them in consecutive order. So we don't just say Jesus is the fulfillment of the Passover because he died on the cross. He says, no, we say Jesus is the fulfillment of Passover because he died on the cross on Passover. He was buried on unleavened bread. He rose on first fruits, and then he gave the Holy Spirit on Pentecost." End quote. So we have to keep in mind that while we're reading this narrative, while we're reading a storyline, these events are charged with theological and traditional significance.